Hi, my name is 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐿, and I help moms who say things like, I can see the yelling and the over-criticizing happening, but I can't stop myself. You know the tools, but they disappear in the moment. On this channel, we focus on what's happening in the exact moment so you can respond with more intention, even if it is hard. This is the kind of work that we do inside my programs with other moms too. Just a quick note, I am not a psychiatrist or any other licensed mental health professional. On this podcast, on this channel, I'm only sharing what I've lived and what I have learned in the hope that it helps even one mom out there who is struggling the way I did. This content is for educational purposes only. It is not medical or mental health advice, and it is not suitable. It is not a substitute for working with a licensed professional. So let's get started. Pausing feels hard. It feels hard for a reason that has nothing to do with you being bad at self-control. In the moment, your brain is trying to solve a problem very fast. Your brain labels the situation as urgent, and urgency makes speed feel like safety. So what's actually happening in the snapping moment? When your child talks back, spills something on your newly cleaned couch, ignores you for what feels like the 100th time, or when your siblings, start fighting, your brain makes a split-second call. This is urgent, I have to stop this now. If I don't act now, it will get worse. I'm losing control. So yelling, over-criticizing, and snapping become the fastest tool in the drawer. Not the best tool, but the fastest. This is why you can promise yourself very early on in the morning, at least I did, today I will not yell or I will not over-criticize. And before you know what's happening, you have snapped. Because snapping isn't happening in the promise part of your brain, it is happening in the automatic part of your brain. Pausing can feel unsafe. Not like in the danger sense, but something like I might lose the moment, and that usually shows up as 4 fears. If I pause, I'm letting this behavior win. If you're like me and grew up believing quick correction equals good motherhood or parenting, a pause can feel like being soft or permissive, even if you do not believe that consciously. You might think, if I pause, I'm losing control. In the chaos of every day, fast reactions feel like control, and pausing feels like taking your hands off the steering wheel for a minute. You might also think that if I pause, my feelings may catch up. The pause creates a gap where you might finally notice something like, for example, I'm exhausted, I'm overstimulated, I'm carrying a lot, and snapping and over-criticizing and yelling may be a way to avoid that wave. You might also be thinking, if I pause, I'm tolerating disrespect. I'm letting my kids be disrespectful to me. When your child's tone hits a nerve, your body goes, I will not be talked to like that. And a pause can feel like you are tolerating that kind of disrespect, or what your brain is interpreting as disrespect, even though the pause is actually what helps you respond clearly. The hidden rule that makes pausing feel impossible. Here is the unspoken rule many of us carry. If I don't react strongly, they won't take me seriously. The kids. So your brain links strong reaction with being listened to. This is why being calm or feeling calm can feel powerless at first. But being calm is not powerless or powerlessness. It is just unfamiliar. When you can pause, why you can pause with a friend or a co-worker, but you can't do the same with your kids. With a friend or a co-worker, you have space, you have less history, and there is less emotional backlog. But with your children, your brain has a file cabinet. I've told you this for what feels like 1,000 times. Why is it always me? We are going to be late again. If I do not learn this now, what happens later? If these kids, I don't teach them this right now, what happens later in their lives? They will fail in the world, to thrive in the world, and all these things. So you are not reacting only from what happened now, you are reacting to what all this reminds you of, what I called the emotional backlog. So pausing or learning to pause is a skill. It is not a personality trait. Some people look naturally calm, but usually it's one of these. They had maybe calmer models growing up. Maybe they have fewer triggers in this specific area. Maybe they've practiced without calling it practice. Or they shut down, which looks like calm, but isn't peaceful on the inside. Real pausing is a built skill, and skills are built in small, repeatable reps. Your goal is not to try harder. Your goal is to create a very teeny tiny space between the thing that, quote, triggers you, unquote, and the reaction that follows after. So here is a simple way to go about this. Step 1 is what I call the micro pause. Do not aim for calm speeches, aim for one beat, one breath, one slow blink, 1 second of stillness. Even if you still correct them right after, but that one beat, that one slow blink, that 1 second of stillness matters, because you interrupted the automatic route, or what our American friends call route. You interrupted the automatic route. The second step is use an anchor phrase, something like a mental script, not a mantra per se. This is it goes like, for example, like this: slow is strong. 1 moment. I can handle this in 1 moment. Or slow is strong. I don't have to rush this. This is not for your child, but this is for you. This is for your brain, and this is for your body. Connection in 1 sentence and not lecture. I'm going to give you an example here. If you're dealing with a child, you're mad or you're annoyed, and I understand that. You really do not want to do this. You wanted this done your own way. If you try to pause in the biggest moments, it will feel impossible. Practice on low-level moments. things like moving slowly, forgetting something again, using that whiny voice, you can start there. Just like going to the gym and exercising, we are also building muscle here with the lighter weight. And the lighter weight being focusing on the small things like I mentioned earlier, moving slowly, forgetting again, speaking to you in a whiny voice. So if your brain thinks that snapping is equal to authority, you will snap whenever you need authority. So we give your brain a new picture, something strong that can look like fewer words, a steady voice, or a clear next step. And follow through. Follow through is also very important. So instead of how many times do I have to tell you, you could try something like, I'm going to say this once. Time to put your shoes on now. Here is one sentence truth. Pausing feels hard because your brain thinks speed equals safety and control. And you're retraining it to believe steadiness leads. And that takes reps, just like when you are exercising, just like when you're running, you people who are runners, the first time you run maybe 1 block away. 2-3 times, you're running maybe 2 blocks. And by the time you complete a month, maybe you're running 5 blocks. So it is the same thing. Pausing feels hard for our brain because our brain thinks that speed is equal to safety and control. But we are retraining our brain to believe that steadiness is what leads. And this takes reps, like I said. It is not a new personality. It is just something that we practice. So if you want, comment situation you snap in most in the comments below. Maybe bedtime, maybe mornings, maybe homework, maybe getting out of the door, that is mornings. And I'll make the next video with the specific scripts for that moment. And if this helped, save it and come back to it, because this is a skill you build by repetition and not willpower. If you want more tools like this or more content like this, please subscribe. I'll keep this practical and real. Thank you for today.